dishwasher, of course. It's far too delicate for detergent.
Finger bowls?
Oh, yes. Our side of the family always use finger bowls between the salad and the dessert.
Would you mind showing me how they work?
Why, certainly, dear. Of course, the maid would take away the salad plate like this and place the finger bowl right in front of us like this. Now, it should be approximately half full with cool water. Oh, there might be a little rosebud floating in the door, or a sliver of blood. And then, of course, we have other cats holding on our mats like this, and we dip our fingers into the finger bowl gently, and we dip and shake them out. Then we dab our napkins and dab our lips. And then, of course, the maid would take it away. Oh, and in would come a lovely soda or chocolate mousse.
Thanks, Aunt Harriet. That was terrific.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, tell me, dear, tell me again what this is all for. I didn't quite understand over the telephone.
Well, this is a classroom project for Amherst.
Oh, my. A project. In what pretend?
Anthropology, actually.
Anthropology. What does that have to do with this?
Well, we're studying the eating habits of various vanishing cultures. For example, someone is doing the Kias of northern Kenya. My roommate's doing the Creoles of Saskatchewan. My professor suggested I do a slideshow on us.
Us.
The wasp of northeastern United States.
See?
You can learn a lot from a culture just from how it eats.
Such as what?
Well, consider these finger bowls. There, you have an almost neurotic obsession with cleanliness, reflecting on the guilt which comes from the last stages of capitalism. And the unnecessary accumulation of glass and china and the compulsion to display it. Or the self-handled aggression of those pistol-handled knives.
I think I shall ask you to leave, Tony.
Aunt Harriet?
I was going to invite you for cocktails, but now I won't.
Please, Aunt Harriet.
Out! Right now, before I telephone long distance to your mother. Oh, vanishing culture, my eye. Well, I forbid you to use my name in the classroom or show one single glimpse of my personal property. And you can tell that professor of yours. I've got a good mind to drive up to Amherst with this pistol-handled button in the seat beside me and cut off his anthropological thoughts.
Where are you going now, Daddy?
I thought your mother might want a drink.
She's reading to the children.
Yes, that's why she might want one.
She wants no such thing.
Well, then I want one.
Now, it's not even 5, Dad.
Okay, let's go see how the Red Sox are doing then.
Daddy, stop.
Stop what?
Avoiding me. Ever since I've arrived, we haven't been able to talk.
Good heavens, what do you mean? It seems to me that ever since you got off the plane, people have been talking continuously and simultaneously.
Alone, Dad. And I mean alone. And you know I mean alone.
All right, we'll talk here in the dining room. It's a good place to talk. And after all, it's been kind of a long day. I'm kind of tired.
I love this room. I've always loved this room. Always.
Yes, your mother and I still use it occasionally. Once a week, Mrs. Robinson still comes in and fixes us a nice dinner. And we still have it in here, still. Lamb chops, broilers.
I've left them, Daddy.
Yes, well, a little vacation is, well,
Permanently.
yes, well, permanently is a very, very long word.
I can't live with him, Dad. We don't get along at all.
Well, you may think that now.
Can we stay here, Dad?
Here,
Just for a few months.
with 3 small children?
While I work out my life.
Let's see. What time is it? It's a little after 5. Well, I think the sun is over the yard arm right now, and if it isn't, well, it should be. I think it's almost permissible for you and I to have a little drink.
Can we stay here, Dad?
Make us a drink, Meg.
All right.
I'd like a scotch, sweetheart. Make it reasonably strong. You'll find that little silver measuring gizmo in the drawer by the trays. Go on. I want 2 shots, sweetheart, with a splash of water. And I like to use that big glass with the pheasant on it. And not too much ice. You got that?
I've got it, Dad.
Good. You know, I saw Mimi Mott the other day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Well, anyways, there she was, being a very good sport with her 3rd husband. Her 3rd, who's deaf as a post and extremely disagreeable. And so I pulled her aside. Are you still listening?
I'm listening, Dad.
Well, anyways, I pulled her aside and I asked her, now Mimi, tell me the truth. If you had made half as much effort with your first husband as you've made with these last 2, don't you think you'd still be married to him? I asked her that point blank. You know what she said? She said, oh, maybe. Maybe, if she had just made the effort.
That's your generation, Dad.
That's every generation.
Not mine.
Every generation has to make an effort.
So can we stay here, Dad?
I wanted the glass with the pheasant on it.
The kids must be using it.
Oh. Well, how about you staying here? I sleep in your room now. Your mother kicked me out of our room because I snore. And we use the boys' old room to watch television.
I don't care, Dad. We'll work it out, please.
Well, why don't you give it another try first?
No,
Another try?
I can't. He's got someone else, Dad.
Really? And she's living with him?
Yes.
Then why don't you fly back and kick her out?
Oh, Dad.
I'm serious. You don't know this, but that's exactly what your mother did. At one time, I became romantically involved with Mrs. Shoemaker. That's right, Mrs. Shoemaker. We took a romantic little love jaunt down to Sea Island. Your mother got wind of it and came right down and told Betty Shoemaker to get on the next train. Now, why don't you do that? Why don't you fly back and tell this other woman to peddle her papers elsewhere? We'll sit with the children while you do.
I can't.
Why?
Because I'm seeing someone else too, Dad.
You mean you've had a little fling?
I've been seeing him.
A little fling?
Been living with him.
And where was your husband?
He stayed with his girl.
And your children?
Well, they came and went.
That sounds a little complicated.
It is, Dad.
Now let's review the bidding, may we? Do you plan to marry this new man?
No.
You're not in love with him.
No. He's married anyways.
And he's decided that he loves his wife.
No.
But you've decided that you don't love him.
Yes.
Or your husband.
Yes.
And your husband is in love with someone else?
He's living with someone else.
Huh. And your grandchildren, your children, my grandchildren, come and go among these various households?
Yes. Sort of. Yes.
It sounds extremely complicated.
It is, Dad. It really is.
Well, then it seems to me the first thing you do is simplify things. That's the first thing. First thing you need to do is tell the man you're living with to leave. Then you sue your husband for divorce. You keep the house you're living in. You keep the children in their schools.
There's someone else, Dad.
Someone else?
Someone else entirely.
A third person?
Sort of.
What was that movie your mother and I used to like? The Third Man?
It's not a man.
not a man?
It's a woman.
Ah, a woman.
I've been involved with a woman, but it's not working out. I'm all over the ballpark. And I want to be here, Dad.
I'd very much like a repair. Would you like a repair? I'll get us both repairs.
I'm all mixed up, Dad. I'm all over the ballpark. I've been seeing a crisis counselor and taking a part-time job. Jogging 3 times a day, and none of it's working. I need to come home, Dad. I want to take the kids and do everything that you did with all of us. I want to take them to the lake and to the park and to the art gallery and do everything that you did with us. I want to come home, Dad, and I want to start all over again. I want to start all over again.
I made your mother one too. And I found the glass with the dozen on it. It was in the trash. Somebody broke it. So let's have a nice quiet cocktail with your mother and see if we can get the children to sit quietly while we do.
You don't want us here, do you?
Of course I do, sweetheart. Of course I do. A week, 10 days, you're most welcome.
I can't go back.
Neither can I, sweetheart. Neither can I.
I just don't know whether to eat or not to eat.
What's the matter, Mom?
I don't know whether to eat or not to eat. Your father and I were having a perfectly pleasant cocktail in the dining room, and all of a sudden that stupid telephone rang, and now he's holed up in the bedroom, talking away.
Who's he talking to?
I don't even know. I think it's someone from the club. Are we going to eat or not? No, simply don't know. Bertha, I don't know whether to go ahead or not. Mr. Standish is still on the telephone. Can we at least have soup? I don't know. I simply don't know. Let's give it 5 more minutes, Bertha.
Yes, miss.
Honestly, that telephone, I could wring its neck, and it should be banned. It should be outlawed between the hours of 6 and 8 in the evening.
I've got to go.
Go! Go where?
Out.
But can't you even stay and have some of those nice savory soup?
I can't even finish my cocktail. Something very, very bad has happened.
Bertha, would you mind very much pouring the soup back in the saucepan and keep it at a low flame? We'll let you know when we're ready.
Yes, miss.
What on earth is the matter?
Henry was insulted at the club.
Oh, insulted! Oh,
Mr. Byers made a remark to him in the steam bath.
oh no.
What did he say, Dad? I believe I was speaking to your mother. Mr. Byers made a remark to your Uncle Henry. Apparently some of the new members heard, and they laughed. Uncle Henry was so upset he had to put on his clothes and leave. He
Oh,
called me for mothers.
Oh dear.
I telephoned the club. I talked to some of the members. They confirmed the incidents. I asked to speak to Mr. Byers, but he would not come to the phone. So now I've got to do something about it.
Won't you tell us?
Dear. Oh dear.
Won't you tell us what he said about Uncle Henry, Dad?
I will not dignify the remark by repeating it.
Oh, come on, Dad. We're not babies.
Yes, Standish, really. We're not quite ready yet, Bertha.
Mr. Byers made a remark having to do with your Uncle Henry's private life.
I'm afraid you'll have to be a little more specific here.
Mr. Byers, who had obviously been drinking since earlier that afternoon, approached your Uncle Henry in the steam bath and alluded in very specific terms to his personal relationships,
What personal relationship?
his associations in the outside world.
Get it.
Well, darling, perhaps Mr. Byers made an unnecessary remark about your Uncle Henry's bachelor attachments.
You mean Uncle Henry's a fruit?
Oh, you want to tell that one in this house?
He's just...
He got it from school, dear.
I don't care where he got it. I won't have it in this house. The point is, my brother was wounded at his club.
But what can you do, dear?
I can go down there
To your mother's?
to the club. I'll demand a public apology in front of the entire grill.
But if he won't even come to the
I'll
telephone.
have to fight him.
Oh, Stanley!
I have to.
Oh, Daddy!
I can't let the remark
Hey,
stand.
Dad, can I go with you, please?
No, I want you to go with your mother.
Go in.
Stanley, for heaven's sake!
Please, no arguments.
But Biggie Byers is half your age and twice your size.
That makes no
I
difference.
think he's on the about Tina dying?
No difference whatsoever.
And what about your bad shoulder? What about your hernia?
I'm sorry. I imagine I shall be seriously hurt, but I can't stand idly by.
Daddy, please don't go.
The lamb will be overdone, miss.
Now listen to
And
me,
it's
all
such
of
a
you.
beautiful lamb.
Listen to me. And you too, Bertha. I would love to stay here and have some of Bertha's fine celery soup, followed by a leg of lamb with mint sauce and roast potatoes. Am I right about the sauce and potatoes?
Yes, sir.
I would love to, but I have to forego it. My brother has been insulted. When he has been insulted, this table, these chairs, and everybody in them, including you, Bertha, are being treated with scorn. So if I stay, I want to be able to converse. I want to be able to laugh. I want to be able to correct your grammar, David. I want to be able to enjoy your fine meal, Bertha. I want to be able to kiss my handsome wife goodbye. Goodbye, David.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, Weekend.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye, David.
You like death. So long, man.
Goodbye, Bertha.
Goodbye, sir. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you indeed.
Bertha, of course we can't eat now, so you have something yourself, and people can raid the icebox later on. And the children will have lamb hash on Saturday.
Yes, miss.
David, you and I will drive to the club and await the outcome in the visitors' lounge.
Okay, Mother.
Get a book. Get a good book. We'll get Ivanhoe. It could be quite a while.
Okay, Mother.
Claire,
Yes.
you stay here and hold down the phone.
All right, Mother.
And get on the telephone to Dr. Russell. I don't care if he's in the operating room or having dinner. I want him to be at the club and be ready to eat his father's Tuesday.
All right, Mother.
And study your French. Wait. Hey, Mother, what's for heaven's sakes?
Is it true about Uncle Henry?
Well, it may be, dear, but don't say it to him. And don't say it at the club. And don't say it within a 10-mile radius of your father. Now, goodbye. Goodbye.
We can talk in here. No one will disturb us. No one comes near a dining room anymore. The thought of sitting down with a group of intelligent people to enjoy a good meal, properly cooked, well prepared, and well served, that apparently doesn't appeal to people anymore. Nowadays, people eat in kitchens or in living rooms, standing around, balancing their plates like jugglers. Soon people will be eating in bathrooms. Simplify the process considerably.
Sit down, Dad.
I'll sit here. We can look out. There's a purple fence that comes down to the feeder every night. Briggs is young. Now I want to go over my funeral.
Dad.
I want to, Richard. There are very few apples left in the barrel for me.
You've been saying that for years, Dad.
Well, this time I mean it. I can't do it with anyone else. You're my eldest son, and I want you to do it. Your mother, bless her heart, she cries every time I try to talk to her. Your brother isn't here, and your sister gets distracted. So pay attention to my funeral, please.
All right, Dad.
And this is my obituary. I've written it for both newspapers. I dictated it to Miss Novak down at the office. I went over it twice, and it's what I want. It's thorough, it's complete without being self-congratulatory. I mentioned my business career, my civic commitments, and of course, my family. And I touch upon my entertainment career too. I give my lowest score in golf, and I give the score of the weight of the sailfish I cut off the keys. The paper will want to cut both items, but don't you let them.
I won't, Paul. I won't.
And I want them to print this picture. It was taken when I was elected to chair the symphony drive. I think it'll do. I don't look too old to die, and I don't look so, I don't look too young to die, I guess. And I don't look so old no one will care.
All right.
And I want the funeral to be announced at the end of the obituary. to take place 3 days later. That'll give people time to postpone their trips and to adjust their commitments and their visits and their appointments. And I want the service to start at 3:30 in the afternoon. That'll give people time to eat their lunch and digest it. And it won't obligate us to feed them dinner. And notice I've underlined the word church. Mr. Fairweather may try to squeeze the service into the chapel. Don't you let it. I've lived here all of my life, and I know a great many people, and I want them to be seated and feel comfortable. And if you see anyone milling around the front door, go up to them and find them a seat, even if you have to use folding chairs. And I've selected these works to be played by Mrs. Manchester at the organ. This Bach, this Haydn, this Schubert, all lively pieces. Nothing gloomy, nothing grim. And I want the service to start promptly with a rousing hymn. Onward, Christian soldiers. And then Mr. Fairweather may make some underline brief remarks about my life and works. Do you plan on getting up and saying anything, by the way?
Me?
You. Do you plan on saying anything?
Well, I didn't think about it. No.
Well, don't if you don't want to. There's nothing worse than a reluctant, unwilling speaker. However, on the other hand, if you, as my eldest son, were to get up and offer a few words of farewell.
All right, Dad. All right. I'll go ahead and...
Good, I'll write that in. Brief remarks by my son, Richard. Got any idea what you might say?
No.
You won't be too sentimental, will you? The other day, Brad Hoffmeister's son got up and made some very sentimental remarks about Brad. I didn't like it, and I don't think Brad would have liked it.
I won't be sentimental, Dad.
On the other hand, you won't make any wisecracks, will you?
Oh, Dad.
Well, you've got that tendency, Dick. That Marcy's wedding at your brother's birthday, you got up and made some very flip remarks about all of us.
I'm sorry.
Smart guy stuff. Too smart, in my opinion. If you're going to say anything like that, maybe you'd better not say anything at all.
I won't make any wisecracks, Papa, promise.
Good. Because you love us, don't you?
Of course I do.
You love us. You may live 1,000 miles away. You may have run off every second. You may be a terrible underwriter. But you love us all the same.
Of course.
You love me.
Of course I do, Dad.
Fine. Now at the graveside. Just a family.
Right.
I want to be buried beside my brothers, below my mother and father. Leave some room for your mother to lie next to me. Even if she remarries, leave some room. She'll come back in the end. And invite everybody back here after the service, but stay close to your mother. She gets very nervous at any type of gathering and makes bad decisions. For example, don't let her serve the good beef eater's gin if all people want to do is mix it with tonic water.
Yes.
And after they're gone, sit with your mother. Stay in the house. Don't leave for a few days, please.
I won't. I promise.
And that's my funeral. I'm leaving you this room, you know. After your mother dies, this table and these chairs are yours. It's the best thing I can leave you by far.
Thank you, Dad.
Good. We can rejoin your mother now. I'll put this envelope in my safe deposit box on top of my will and the stock certificates. The key will be in my left bureau drawer. You didn't see the purple finch with the chunk, did you?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
While I was talking?
That's right.
Good. Lots of deals.
Oh, Annie, the table looks absolutely marvelous. Why, thank you, Mrs.
Now make sure the soup plates are hot.
I always do, Mrs.
And I think we can dispense with the butter balls. Just give everyone a nice pat of butter.
I'll be making me old butter balls, Mrs.
You will? How nice. Oh, and do make sure to watch the ashtrays. Some people still
smoke Creek horses, but they don't like to be reminded of it.
I know, Mrs.
Oh yes, and before I forget, I'd like to pay you and Irma in the kitchen. That includes your taxi, so you may go right after you finish cleaning up here. Oh, and there's a little something extra in yours, Annie. Just a present.
Thank you, Mrs.
I better go check the living.
Oh,
Annie,
Yes, Mrs.
I heard a strange rumor. It seems that you'll be leaving?
Oh, yes, Mrs.
Well, surely you'll be available for us. I mean, in emergencies, after all, we've used you more than anyone.
I'm sorry, I'll be retiring now, Mrs.
But surely I can still reach you through nephews.
Himself is moving away.
Well, where will you go? What will
I
you
have
do?
my sister in Milwaukee.
We'll be lost without you, Annie.
You'll manage. You'll manage.
Oh, but not like this. Never quite like this.
Thank you, Mrs.
I think I heard the doorbell.
Yes,
Women's coats upstairs, men's in the hall closet.
yes, Mrs.
Oh, and Annie. Thank you, Annie, for everything.
You're welcome, Mrs.
I keep having this reoccurring dream that we have our old dining room back and we give these beautiful dinner parties. Grandmother's silver fork stolen. Charlie's mother's royal blue dinner plates. Before the movers brought them. And the finger bowls, if I knew where to find them. And we invite all of our famous people. Oh, I don't mean just our old friends. I mean everyone we've ever known and liked. There'd be the young, nice young man that fixes our Toyota. The teller at the bank. The receptionist in Dr. Ross. Oh, we can't forget that lovely uncle with the Bob Clayton house. And we have our children back too, of course. And we have 2 cocktails. Hamburgers. A first-rate kitchen. And 2 maids to serve everything. My husband laughs when I tell him this dream. Do you realize how much this would cost? Do you realize what a party like this is going to cost us these days? Well, I know that. I know all of that. But sometimes, just sometimes, I think it just might be worth it.
To us all.
To us all.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. We have an announcement we'd like to make. Go ahead.
Fred, please come up here a minute. You know who you are.
It's time for a very little correction.
Yes.